ready? Oops, sorry. Okay.
Might I suggest you put your gear or mask in your boat? This river.
Oh, it's underneath the bungee. Yeah.
Last year I lost one of my wonderful friends.
Oh.
I still keep thinking of flying.
I'll tell you, my sunglasses dropped, and I couldn't believe I actually found them. Yep. Okay, so as you exit KP Hole, we're just going upstream. And we're actually going to hit some of the areas that I've been to before, but my niece Hannah has not. But the water up here past the campground is so beautiful. And there's a lot of areas. Hopefully we'll see some more animals today because we got here a lot earlier and it's not as busy yet. So usually when it's earlier in the day and it's not so loud and crowded, we'll be able to see a lot more. Okay, so coming up here on the right is where the campground is. That's where you can launch for the campground area. And you'll see the dock. It's a pretty long trek to get down there, but it's very, very close to KP. One of the nice things about coming earlier in the morning is you don't have all the crowds, because it can get very, very crowded on the Rainbow River. So your chances of seeing animals are a lot higher when it's not as noisy. So you can see right up there on the right where those people are loading with their canoes straight ahead. That is the campground entrance to get into the water. And one of the nice things about this area at the campground is they have picnic tables and grills, so you know you can bring stuff down, which we've done before, leave it there, come back to eat, go back out on the water. So it is really nice to be able to have a spot to eat as well. One of the things I do want to mention is you cannot bring any items that you throw away. So food, water bottles, anything that turns into trash after one use, you're not allowed to bring out on this river. So if you do bring a cooler with food, it has to be in Rubbermaid containers or storage containers. You can't bring it, you know, if you have Crustables for the kids, you have to take it out of the wrapper and put it in a Tupperware container. Granola bars, jerky, that type of thing. So water bottles is the same thing. You can bring water bottles that are not disposable, but you cannot bring ones that you throw away that are one use. It's a big bird. Hannah, you see the big bird in the tree right here? I'm not sure what kind of bird that is, but he's straight ahead. That's super cool. He's pretty. One of the things I love too is just hearing all of the crickets and the birds chirping. It's so peaceful here. There's the rainbow water taxi. So that will take people up the river and then drop them off and come back and get them so that they can dive and scuba. Yeah, so yesterday was our adventure to Three Sisters, and that water was so choppy. Thankfully here it's not nearly as bad, but when that boat went back, gave Hanny flashbacks. And it's actually pretty calm. I mean, if you stop paddling, you're going to definitely drift down the river pretty quickly, but right now it's pretty calm. And one of the nice things about this area going up is there's quite a few spots where you can just pull your kayak up on sand, go for a swim, check out some areas. I think the top part of Rainbow River is a lot more relaxing, and there's just a lot more to see, in my opinion, because you don't have so many people. You know, the majority of people want to go downriver, and so these areas up here is just untouched. Now, where this guy is right ahead, we actually came a couple years back and just relaxed here and swam, and some of our kids were fishing. And this is one of the things that I really like, is there's spots where you can get in and out. So we're gonna go check out this area back where Hannah is. And we've been here before, it's beautiful. So let's go ahead and go check it out. And it amazes me because when there's no movement, we actually have photos that look like it's glass.
We're in a desert, and then they are starving and they need water.
The oasis that appears, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. So this area we've gone through before. It's beautiful. And we're about this deep, so knee high. Some areas get a little bit deeper. But it's crazy how crystal clear it is. You can see all of the patterns in the sand from the current. And the current's pretty strong. Now this area is just past the campground boat dock that we just showed you. So right after you get past the boat dock, right around the corner, this is where this place is. Highly suggest you come check it out. I swear it feels like you just came out of time. And it's just so untouched. And like we said before, you know, it's definitely good that people take care of this. Obviously, you have tourists who just don't care about this area. But for the most part, it's very clean. People really want to protect it. And it's just beautiful. I love all the Spanish moss. And the regular trees mixed with palm trees. It's just gorgeous. You just don't see stuff like this everywhere anymore. So this area goes back maybe about a 15-20 minute walk to get to the very end. It's beautiful. There's tons of stuff to see. And it's not very crowded. Some people know about it, but compared to how many are on the river, it's pretty untouched. This area also is a great spot to go snorkeling. There's tons to see. Depending on the day, the current can be pretty strong. This day it actually was, because it goes towards the middle of the river, so it can make it a little bit more hard to snorkel without fins. And this day we didn't have any fins while we were going under. For the most part, this area isn't super busy. On this particular day, there was a group of kayakers. Not sure if they were a tour or if it was a club that had stopped by there, but normally it's not very crowded at all. But underwater, it's just beautiful. This area is not as deep unless you go further out, but again, because the current was so strong that day, we just stuck a lot closer to the side so that it was easier to get back to an area where we could stand up and get back to our kayaks that were tied off. So in this area, you typically don't see a lot of fish or turtles or that type of thing if there's quite a few people out in this spot. This day there was, because there was, you know, the kayakers that were there, a couple of families. So you don't typically see as much when there's a lot more movement in the water. One of the things, though, that I loved about this spot, and one of the things why I love to keep going back, is there's so much to see. You can have areas that are sand, you can have the areas that are the grass, and you can, you know, see turtles sometimes just hanging out in the grass underneath. And then you also have areas that are rock. So there's a lot of stuff to check out under the water, which makes it for a nice snorkel trip. Now in this section, it was definitely difficult to try to swim forward holding the GoPro. I didn't have fins on, and the current was pretty strong in the middle section. So it definitely is a good workout, which is nice when you're snorkeling, obviously, but it can make it a little bit more difficult to try to go upstream against the current swimming with the GoPro. You know, if you've got fins, it's going to be a lot easier than trying to do it without fins. And again, the colors are just beautiful. Absolutely amazing to see the colors. And to see the light reflecting off of the sand under the water is so pretty. Well, I hope you guys had a good time coming with us on this adventure. If you have not checked out this spot on Rainbow River, you definitely need to, because it is absolutely beautiful and one that you'll remember forever. Thanks for coming on this adventure with us today. We hope you guys had fun seeing around Rainbow River, and we'll see you next time.